Hi everyone, I'm Amrita and welcome to my channel Fries and Shine. Here you will find evidence-based, no-nonsense, nutrition-related information. And in today's video, I'm going to discuss the relation between soy and breast cancer. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I thought it's really important that we discuss this super essential but very controversial topic of soy and breast cancer. There's a lot of conflicting information out there about soy. Is it good, bad, safe? Can it cause breast cancer? Why is there so much misinformation and miscommunication about soy? So here's what we'll do. First, we'll discuss what estrogen is, its role in our bodies and in breast cancer. Next, we'll discuss how soy is related to estrogen and cancer. And finally, we'll discuss whether or not it is safe to consume soy. Do note in this video, whenever I say soy, I mean all the various products that come from the soybean plant. So, soybeans, soy flour, tofu, edamame, concentrated soy protein, and a whole range of mock meat products that are made using soy. Also, apologies in advance if I say the words estrogen and phytoestrogen too many times through the course of this video, but it's really important. Now that that's clear, how did soy come to be associated with breast cancer at all? It all begins with estrogen. Estrogen is a hormone naturally present in our bodies. It's present in large quantities in women, but it's also present in small quantities in men. It is produced mainly by your ovaries, but your adrenal glands and fat tissue also make some amounts of estrogen. Estrogen plays a major role and is really important in the sexual and reproductive development of girls, but it has a lot of other essential functions in the body, some of which I will cover later in this video. Estrogen becomes of concern when we talk about higher than normal levels in the body, as can happen in certain hormonal diseases, when one is on birth control pills, when one has higher than normal levels of body fat, and when one is on hormone replacement therapy. Now, a normal part of sexual and reproductive development is the development of breast cells, for which estrogen is also responsible. Which is why, when you have constant high exposure to estrogen, it can increase your risk for breast cancer, which is basically breast cells growing out of control and replacing normal healthy cells. Now, there are several different mechanisms that can cause breast cancer, and one of these is a hormone dependent mechanism, and it's dependent on estrogen. And soy products were thought to increase estrogen levels. Why? Because soy is naturally rich in a compound called isoflavones. Now, these are also naturally found in other foods like chickpeas, peanuts, and fava beans, but soy is one of the most rich sources of isoflavones. Now, these are not essential nutrients in that we don't need them to sustain life, but they do offer a lot of health benefit, which is why we do want them as a part of our regular diet. But isoflavones were thought to increase risk of breast cancer because they act like phytoestrogens. Phytoestrogens are simply plant estrogens. Phyto means plant and estrogen means estrogen. These are not produced by your body's endocrine system, but they enter your body through certain plant foods that you eat in which they are naturally present. They are called plant estrogens because they are structurally very similar to the estrogen found in the body. And here is where the confusion lies. If estrogen can cause cancer and phytoestrogens mimic body estrogen, and soy is a major source of phytoestrogens, consumption of it can cause cancer, right? Thankfully, wrong. The main difference between these compounds is that phytoestrogens are extremely weak sources of estrogen. So you would need to eat a very large dose of phytoestrogens for them to produce the same effect in the body that a really small amount of estrogen can create. And typically, in the context of a balanced diet, when we eat soy, we don't eat this level of phytoestrogens. In fact, phytoestrogens help prevent some of the harmful benefits that estrogen creates from a cancer point of view. How do they do this? If you've ever used a lock and a key, you'll know that not every key fits into any lock. They're usually pretty specific for each other. Similarly, estrogen is a key which fits into a very specific receptor or lock in the body. And only when estrogen fits into this receptor or binds to this receptor can it create the effects that it creates in the body. Remember how I said phytoestrogens are structurally very similar to estrogens? This means that they would be able to fit into the same receptor or the same lock. When you eat these through your diet, they actually compete with the body's estrogen for binding to this receptor. So now, instead of strong body estrogen, you have this really weak plant estrogen fitting into the lock. And this weak estrogen cannot exert the same bodily effects that your body's estrogen does. In this way, the presence of plant estrogens through the food that you eat, through the soy that you eat, can actually help mitigate the harmful effects of estrogen in your body. And the amazing thing about these plant estrogens is that they play a double role in the body. They can both mimic and block estrogen. So we already discussed how they block. Let's now discuss how and where they mimic body estrogen. Although we primarily know estrogen as a reproductive hormone, it also acts on the liver, heart, bones, and brain. In fact, postmenopausal women actually see an increase in the risk of osteoporosis and heart disease because estrogen levels naturally drop after menopause. So postmenopausally, soy and its phytoestrogens can be really helpful because they would mimic the body's own estrogen, and in this way they can promote heart and bone health. The phytoestrogens also help manage really uncomfortable symptoms like hot flushes and mood changes, which are very common with drops in estrogen levels. By now, I hope I've convinced you that soy does not cause breast cancer and that it could even prevent it. But even if you're not worried about your cancer risk, there is still an advantage in you eating soy. First, it's a great source of fiber, which affects absolutely every aspect of health. Second, it's a great source of iron, which does tend to be low or difficult to obtain in vegetarian diets. And lastly, soy is one of the only two vegetarian complete protein sources. What this means is that soy contains and provides all 9 essential amino acids that our body absolutely must get through the food that it eats. So to sum it up, if you've been having soy regularly as part of your diet, it can play a role in cancer prevention. It can also play a role in cancer recurrence, especially if you had an estrogen-dependent breast cancer. But it is definitely safe to consume and it does not cause breast cancer. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. And share this video with other people who may also find it helpful. If you have any questions or concerns about this topic, you can get back to me either on Instagram, over email or in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Hope to see you soon. Until then, take care and keep shining.